Let's keep talking about how to write poetry and how to find your inspiration. We've seen that there are many sources of inspiration, as phrases and your past or your memories. Now let's see the quotidian. What is it and why is it important to poetry writing? The quotidian is the everyday life. It's often simple, ordinary, commonplace, plain, simple, and boring. It's often uninspiring. When I talk about the quotidian, I always remember Kafka's character, Gregor Samson, in the novel The Metamorphosis. His everyday life was so boring and so repetitive that he became the monstrous insect. So, even if our everyday lives are not so inspiring, there are so many great poems about common objects and usual situations of our daily lives. So, when poets write about everyday life, they try to understand the human experience or the essence of things. Even if you are writing about a chair, an old bench, a cake you made, a tough conversation you had with someone, you always try to see something that others cannot see. It means that when you write about the usual and common, you always try to see the unusual and uncommon. So, your everyday life poems often reveal the implicit meanings and structures of your experiences. It's like throwing a light on your life and understand what is meaningful to you. Then poetry becomes the light through which we scrutinize our lives. And by reflecting on our experiences and revealing our intimacy, we gain control over our fears and silences. We gain power over our lives. So that's why Audre Lorde says that poetry is illumination. And through poetry, we give name to those ideas which are, until the poem, nameless and formless, about to be birthed, but already felt. However, it's the quality of light you apply on your life that will define the quality of your poems. So, now what is personal and private can become social and political, and even promote some social change. In this sense, the writing about your everyday experiences can be healing, but also liberatory and revolutionary, a way of theorizing. Let's see a great poem on everyday life. It's In a Station of the Metro by Ezra Pound. The apparition of these faces in the crowd, petals on a wet black bough. Ezra Pound is a modernist writer, one of the founders of Imagism, and it's a very good example of an imagetic poem. It has only two verses and there are no verbs. Pound selects two images that make us imagine how he felt and what he saw in a metro station. By the juxtaposition of these two images, he compares the human with the non human, the crowd in the metro with the petals in the bow. Then we can see how the crowd appears as an objectified and fragile mass. So the poet sees himself as part of this fragile crowd that is almost ghostly. So that's how Ezra Pound described his experience, his everyday life experience in that metro station. And that's a good example on how to get inspired by your daily life to create a poem. And that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you. If you like this video, please consider supporting our work by buying our book on Amazon. Thank you.